Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. We haven't had him on the show for a while. He's had his hands absolutely full with the South African Under-21 tournament. Now, that tournament, of course, changes, whereas next year it's going to be an Under-20 competition. And joining us on the line from Western Province, from Newlands, from the actual officer itself, Jerome Paarwater. Jerome, fantastic to have you back on the show. Hoe lyk dinge daar?
Ja, JP, nee, baie goed. Lekker om weer terug te wees. Na 'n paar weke wat ek af was. Maar dit is goed om weer terug te wees. Ja, so ons het al weer beginne met die onder 20. So ja, lekker om weer terug te wees.
Jerome, of course, you've been fortunate in the fact that a number of your players have that you had in the under-21 structure are still under 20, and you're able to keep them for next year.
It's good. That's correct, JP. The plan was always to include these guys, to give them some game time with us, to prepare them, because we knew that the competition is going to change to under 20 next year. So I'm fortunate to have all these guys, and I think province was one of the few provinces that had under 20 guys in playing.
Jerome, what does that mean for the players in terms of having gained that sort of experience under 21? Now you go into next year and they've managed to train in quite a senior level. Does that help the players?
JP, that's massive. For example, the whole pack of forwards, almost 95% of the pack of forwards, I had both the locks. I had the whole front row with the hookers, with 2 hookers, who's still under 20. So that's good. And I mean, the guys stood up in the competition. As you know, the guys who play under 21. So it's massive for these young guys. And like I say, we're fortunate, especially a lot of these guys were forwards, to gain that experience.
Jerome, when we talk about the testing now, you say that the players have now managed to take a little bit of a break. I'm sure a lot of the guys have written exams and so on, but now you're bringing them in for testing. When we talk about testing, what does that mean? What is it that the players actually go through?
The testing is basically, JP, we, like the physio, have a section which he tests, like you'll see if they're strong enough, if they have any niggles, because we had guys with niggles when they left, the guys who played for us, and he just tests them to see where they are. So they do, for example, like certain stretches that they do, hamstring tests, and any other test to see. That's what the physio is doing. And then they obviously go into the gym, and then they do the skin folds with the conditioning coach, Nasir.
Right.
Skin folds to see if they pick up fat and their body weight. So just like a baseline test to see where they are, where we left them and where they are. Some of them came back a little bit overweight, but some of them actually managed to do stuff in this 3 weeks because we gave them programs when they left.
Jerome, and now that they break for a while, do you have any idea when? And when we talk about break for a while, we're talking obviously that most of these under-20s are either at school or at university, or are they all at university?
Yeah, what we did before, there's some of the guys who's also joining us who's finishing off at school, who were in our structures, some of the guys who were part of Craven Week. So we tested them before the school's exams start. So they busy writing exams at the moment. So now most of the universities are done with their exams. So that's why we only have the university guys in now at the moment with the testing. So we've done the school boys.
Jerome, then you've also got some exciting things happening this week. You're extending the testing, and as you say, the testing is not necessarily physical tests. It's to get a baseline understanding. You're actually opening that up for the clubs this weekend.
Yeah, so exactly. So we're gonna do the same sort of testing with the clubs this weekend. The under 20 guys coming in, and we actually send out to the clubs that they can send 5 players per club. So hopefully we will see a lot of club guys coming in and test them and see where they are. And yeah, and try to help them because there's no club rugby at the moment. So I think the guys must be excited to come in and yeah, just to start with some rugby activities.
Jerome, for a club player to come, and I'm assuming that they will come with their coach, for a club player to come in, is there a big difference between, for example, club testing and what they would experience at Western Province under those professional circumstances?
Yeah, it's very different, JP, than what we do here. Like I said, with what the physios do, he's got his role, and what the conditioning coach do, he's got his role, and then on field, what we do as coaches. So it's very different to the testing that the guys are doing at the clubs. We first have to see where the guys are before we let the guys run.
Jerome, we just lost you there. I think the line is starting to drop a little bit, but we're of course hoping to catch up with you soon. Have you got any shout outs or messages for the club players out there?
Yeah, look, JP, we had a lot of club guys playing in the under 21 competition, and from our side, from Western Province's side, we're not afraid to give club guys an opportunity. So hopefully, if they come Saturday, and we also understand it was tough times now, so we won't be that hard on them, but they must use this opportunity because there are opportunities to make the side. And obviously hopefully next year we'll play like a trial game to give everybody a fair chance.
Jerome, we'll leave it at that, and we'll say thanks to you, and we'll catch up with you again soon. We'll of course remind you to stay safe out there.
Thanks, JP. Hopefully I can give you some positive feedback about this guys on next week.
We look forward to it. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, don't go away. When we come back from break, we carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Right, folks, and now also joining me from Western Province Rugby, Club Rugby Manager Faizel Felton. Faizel, nice to have you there. I see you've taken the seat from Jerome.
No, thanks, Joe. We're back in the office, as you can see. So, yeah, slowly getting back into the grind, and like I said, looking forward to hopefully being playing rugby again.
Faizel, when we're talking about that, obviously everybody at the moment, COVID is the big component that people must be very concerned about right now, is the COVID compliance and doing their online certificates.
No, definitely. I think from the club side, we've had a number of workshops in terms of educating the clubs in terms of what's required, what's in place, and from the club side, identifying compliance officers. So I think from the union side, in terms of government regulations, we're sort of good to go. It's now up to the clubs basically to make sure that the necessary protocols are in place, and then in turn submitted to the union, and then we issue an operational certificate. So we've met with the city. I think from the city side as well, they also basically have ensured that the facilities are available. So it's up to the clubs, and just to make sure that they tick all the boxes.
And one of those boxes is going online to the World Rugby website and doing your online certificate there.
Yes, so it's all about education, and the key thing is with the World Rugby online course, it basically just gives you more awareness in terms of the virus and what it's about. But it's not only for the compliance officers, it's also for the players. So yes, I think that's the key thing, is education.
And then another exciting thing that you've got starting this weekend is this, I believe it's this weekend, or is it next weekend, the Women's High Performance Coaching course, which is exclusively for women.
No, definitely, JP. I think from our side, we've started a number of programs. Tonight, we're meeting up with the ladies' clubs in terms of looking at starting, women's rugby, women's committee, also looking at, the club structure, trying to see how we can facilitate and attract more to, from an administrative point. But as you mentioned, next week we have our workshop whereby, or at least level 1 coaching course, whereby we are identifying ladies that are going to be doing coaching courses. But I think the key thing about this and what's different about it is that it's not just your normal level 1 course. We're basically, taking, ladies by the hand, and it's only females attending, which means we're hoping that people will feel a lot more comfortable talking, in that space. Yep. But the other good thing is that we're having workshops on a continuous basis. So every month we'll be having a workshop, which will be focused on specific points, whether it's defensive breakdowns, that type of aspect for going into the new year as well.
That's fantastic. And then Faizel, just the last question. You also had your first World Rugby Level 1 coaching course last week, Friday at Newlands. Give us some feedback. How did that go?
No, I think it went off fantastic. The feedback was great. I think from Nazim and also from the applicants that attended that course, the feedback was excellent. The protocols, obviously the first course is always a bit of a challenge, just familiarizing yourself, checking and making sure that we tick all the boxes. So I think we restricted the amount of applicants to 20. But the key thing is that, from a level 1 perspective, everything went off fantastic. We had it in our railway mall at the stadium. If people don't know where it is, you'll know that it's a massive wall that we have on the railway side. So from social distancing, everybody felt comfortable attending the course. So it was great.
Right, folks, we're of course looking forward to seeing the under-20s on the park next year, and of course the change in that competition format. Right, remember, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, right there you see the logo behind me now, Score. If you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, it's very easy. You just need to SMS the word SCORE to 33090, 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks. And congratulations then to last week's winner, Charles February. Charles, you walk away with a case of Score energy drinks. Folks, don't go away. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Back in a sec.